I moved to Georgia sight unseen. Was in a U-Haul truck. It was me, Sherry, and my 1-year-old baby in the car seat in between two bucket seats, right? It was easy for me to move it because at that point in Philly, the only close relationship I really had, my trusted relationship, was with my Aunt Doris, and she passed away at the age of 37. She was the one that instilled in me this world travel thing and just looking at life differently, not being afraid to take chances. She exposed me to a lot. So it was easy for me to move to Georgia after she passed away because I had nothing holding me back. The beautiful thing was she left me in about, can you mute your phones, please?
Sorry.
Guys? All right. So about $15,000 she gave me. And that was how I was able to actually stay in Georgia for a good little while because that gave me income, but I made the best out of that income. I was always a thinker. I went ahead and opened up a daycare center. And so I had that daycare center for a little while, but in 1996, I got married. 1997, I got divorced. 1998, I got me a real estate license. 2002, I got married again. 2003, I had my second daughter. In 2004, I got my first broker's license, which means I can now open up companies within Georgia. At that point, I could only open up in companies and have agents under me. But in 2006, I experienced my second divorce. Now, the fact that I couldn't stay in these marriages, first of all, I wasn't going to sit up there and stay in places that wasn't fruitful for me. But I didn't have the emotional maturity to actually come out of judgment. And when you're in close relationships, you can't judge other people if you want to be successful. It was not only judgment, but I didn't even know what sacrificial love was. I didn't know I know what it meant to make sure that I sacrificed to get certain things done. But I didn't know sacrificial love in order to actually blossom a relationship. So by the time 2006 happened, of course, none of this was easy. From the moment that I touched Georgia to at this moment I'm having a second divorce, none of life was easy. So now I'm a single mom. But when you fast forward it to 2019, all those years, I did stand on business. Because at this point, I had 18 broker's licenses. So now that wasn't even a plan. I just kept standing on business and one opportunity came after another. And now I was in position emotionally to handle it, emotionally to trust this company that I had locked up with, because then I could understand. So my emotional intelligence was better at this point, but that was also the same year that I started opening my heart again. So now I'm just going to tell you, here's my family. So the first one, Jonna's my baby girl. Oh, hang on one second. So Jonna being the baby girl, she is the tallest of the bunch, but she's the baby of the bunch. She wrote a book at the age of 13, and it's Aubrey's First Flight. She started college at the age of 15 and is now a content creator and a gamer. And she's also a manager at a financial wealth company. So now we have Anya. She's the 1-year-old that relocated with me. Today, she's Delta's second Black female captain. And then we have Whitney. That was my bonus baby. She was the best part of my first marriage. And now she's a DJ by profession, and she's a professional hairstylist, and she's the one that actually did my hair. Let me check to make sure I met some more people. Okay, here we go. And then you guys meet Keaton, that's my fiance. In 2019, he was the one that actually started loving me unconditionally and started looking over all of my different quirks. He had the sacrifice of love that I had never seen before. And so learning that unconditional love, you have no other choice but to open your heart. But emotionally, I was ready. I was ready to now fight that battle of Angie versus Angie, because that's what was happening in a relationship. And it was difficult for me. And I didn't have anyone to actually pave the way for me and help me understand all the different terms of relationships, or even understanding what was going on in me and why I was afraid. But up until then, I stood on business and I focused on my daughters. So although I'm victorious, no doubt you can only imagine how many disappointments I gave myself through my reactions that I just had to life. So I didn't have anyone to give me that guidance, but now I own it. I own every last pain I have. I own every last situation I was in. I don't point fingers anymore. And I'm able to give you guidance about owning your own space, about emotions, about vulnerability, about trust, about standing on business. So if anybody can relate to me so far, drop some comments in the chat. I'll be really curious. And if you got any questions, please drop them there as well.